if Whitman is the Democrat to Arnold's Republican, then Lewis Carroll is the anarchist to Whitman's Democrat. I'm going to read a little bit of a poem from, well, actually I'm going to read The Jabberwocky, which was written by, good, my favorite too, written by Lewis Carroll, who brought us Alice in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass, and Hunting of the Snark, in other words. Love this poem. The Jabberwocky. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wibe. All mimsy were the borogoves and the mumrats outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as he came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Callooh, Calais, O frabjous day, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wibe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mumrats outgrabe.
Now,
yes,
we have a very charming pair of poems from the 20th century.
Right. This is a poem you all know. The first poem, I am assuming you know William Carlos Williams. You know his poems in general, but this is, of course, what I refer to in class sometimes as the refrigerator magnet poem. You will all recognize it. And then we're going to hear a little parody of William Carlos Williams' extraordinary, startling haiku of a poem by Kenneth Koch. And so this is Williams's poem. This is just to say, I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox, and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold.
Variations on a theme by William Carlos Williams by Kenneth Koch. I chopped down the house that you had been saving to live in next summer. I am sorry, but it was morning and I had nothing to do. And its wooden beams were so inviting. We laughed at the hollyhocks together, and then I sprayed them with lye. Forgive me. I simply do not know what I'm doing. I gave away the money that you had been saving to live on for the next 10 years. The man who asked for it was shabby, and the firm March wind on the porch was so juicy and cold. Last evening we went dancing, and I broke your leg. Forgive me. I was clumsy, and I wanted you here in the wards, where I am the doctor.
Oh, God, I love that. Another change of pace. This is another poem from John's anthology, The River Merchant's Wife, a letter. This is, of course, well, not of course, I mean, it is, if you don't know the poem, it's actually a translation by the controversial genius poet Ezra Pound of Li Po's Chinese poet's persona poem. The speaker is a young woman who has been recently married. She's not yet 18 years old, 17 years old, and she lives in a tiny village in China, and her husband is the river merchant, and he has left. And she writes to him, or says to him, one of the most beautiful love poems, I think, of all time, The River Merchant's Wife. While my hair was still cut straight across my forehead, I played about the front gate, pulling flowers. You came by on bamboo stilts, playing horse. You walked about my seat, playing with blue plums. And we went on living in the village of Chokan, two small people without dislike or suspicion. At 14, I married my Lord Yu. I never laughed, being bashful, lowering my head. I looked at the wall. Called to 1,000 times, I never looked back. At 15, I stopped scowling. I desired my dust to be mingled with yours forever and forever and forever. Why should I climb the lookout? At 16, you departed. You went into far Kentoyen, Kutoyen, by the river of swirling eddies, and you have been gone for 5 months. The monkeys make sorrowful noise overhead. You dragged your feet going out. By the gate now the moss is grown, the different mosses, too deep to clear them away. The leaves fall early this autumn, in the wind. The paired butterflies are already yellow with August. Over the grass in the west garden, they hurt me. I grow older. If you are coming down through the narrows of the river Kiang, please let me know beforehand, and I will come out to meet you, even as far as Cho Fu Sa.